So before we actually get into like recording this part, there's really like one thing that I actually have forgotten to like mention basically before, which I should have like mentioned like probably maybe back in part 10. And of course, it is basically the Big Rock ending stuff. There is basically a Rock Band documentary that'll basically like demonstrate that will basically like show you how to set up Big Rock endings though. So as an example for setting up Big Rock endings on Reaper though, then I'll show you how to do it. Now first of all, let me actually go ahead and just hide the note rows for now, just so you can just see it. So the way that Big Rock endings are basically set up is only if there are any like endings basically of some songs that have like really difficult notes, or if it's just like crazy notes that you would have to play that is basically just normally playing now, then a Big Rock ending can basically make it easier basically though. Also, you doing a Big Rock ending is also a really great way to score points basically as well, as soon as you like land the final note. So the way that you're basically supposed to set up the Big Rock ending basically though for drums is like make sure that the Big Rock ending basically starts at the beginning of the crazy ending, which would basically mean it would have to be all set up like this basically though. So it means for the drum fill, you want to like make that one really long, and then basically for like the last one now, and the way to set up the final note, like basically on the song basically though, is once you have basically set the Big Rock ending lanes, it's mostly recommended to do at least a like wide enough gap basically for the Big Rock ending lanes, so then you don't really end up strumming or drumming like crazy too much, and then just like end up missing the final note though, which is probably something you shouldn't do. Like basically, so make sure. So the truth is, if you're gonna do a song with a crazy Big Rock ending, basically, make sure that you do like absolutely have make sure that you really like absolutely have make sure that like you really at least just have like a small gap, or actually no, a wide enough gap basically on the Big Rock ending lanes, so then you will only have to only stop drumming or strumming like crazy, or drumming like crazy though, and which should give you like just enough room to just be able to just hit the final note, and to be able to score the points basically from like the Big Rock ending. Like if you've seen like Big Rock endings before, basically from some songs basically like what is it, like on Freebird basically, Freebird basically has a Big Rock ending on the Rock Band 3 like export though, so it means it's going to be like really difficult to do, like basically to mostly do by itself, and you probably like might want to just like try to go for like for like putting like Big Rock ending lanes over all those notes, so then it'll really make it easier to nail the Big Rock ending and to be able to still score points without ever struggling on the ending like whatsoever though. and then once you really hit the final notes, you will correctly though, without overstrumming, then or without drumming too early or too late though, you should absolutely get the bonus. Well, the big rock ending bonus, like basically though, it's mostly recommended to do it anyway. So the truth is, make sure that you really set the length to the bedrock ending lane, basically, though, for the drums, and then you go and do the same thing for bass and guitar, except this time, basically paste in that same bedrock ending lane that you have that you basically have like put in, and you absolutely should. And you should at least to still be able to just do it in the same spot without ever struggling. Like I'll show you an example. So yeah, the big rock ending lanes has to start here, and then go all the way, and then have it end like right there, just like the drums. And then that's basically like the last note, basically though, for bass on the big rock ending that you're, for as an example, to hit. And then one more example is on guitar, basically though. So yeah, so you just put the same drum fill in for that, just like bass. And then like anyway, once you basically have absolutely set up the length basically of the big rock ending lane, basically though, then you want to copy that in, and then make sure to paste it into the other tracks until drums, bass, and guitar have the big rock ending lanes that they need. And then the last thing that you will need to make sure that your big rock endings are working is at the start. Excuse me. Basically, at the start of like every big rock ending lane, basically though, on an instrument, there always needs to have the coda text event. So right here, this is basically the coda text event, and the way that in the spot that you put the coda text event in is basically where the big rock ending starts, basically. Like right here as an example, that's basically the start of it. So what I basically did here is I basically like put in the coda text event, basically to be coda in brackets, and make sure that it is a text event, so then it'll work like just fine. And that's for and then once you have all of that filmed in though, you should be good to go. Also, music and will absolutely still work with the big rock ending lanes though. You just have to basically like make sure that you really just have the music and the text event to be in the right spot, and then make sure that music end is in the right spot as well when you have the big rock endings though. So the way the points are basically set up is it depends on like how long the big rock ending lane is basically, you know. And it's mostly like recommended to just put in some like notes to the big rock ending lane, basically, you know, so then just so then it will just like absolutely like so then your musicians can basically just play the big rock ending correctly. So yeah, that means on drums, bass, and guitar, and drums, bass, and guitar, it's recommended to do it. So then it'll absolutely make it register. Like so you could basically see here is when you go through the big rock ending now, sometimes this example is basically something that sometimes that musicians could sometimes play if you set it correctly on the animations. For drums, yeah, it's pretty much, it is like definitely the same thing you can do. And then for bass, sorry. And then for guitar, like I said, big rock ending lane starts here at 96. Also, the good thing basically about big rock endings is that they never need to be authored on vocals though. Since all that the big rock endings basically only do for vocals is it just just only like you go crazy and to make you sing whatever you feel like basically though. So it means with the vocals track, even if there is like a big rock ending basically in it though, you absolutely don't even need to really like chart like anything for the big rock ending basically on like big rock endings on vocals to work. So that's basically like something to know about. Basically, just in case if you're wondering now, big rock. So yeah, it's mostly recommended to put in the animations basically though, even the regular plain notes basically for drums, bass, and guitars, and then your musicians will basically play the crazy endings like properly, but like basically to like the way it's supposed to be, just like it would usually do on a rock band game. But anyway, yeah, that is basically the real anyways that right. So anyways, that's basically all you have to know basically about big rock endings though. Just make sure that you just put in the regular notes at least, and then just put the animations in, so then your musicians can still just play the big rock endings properly, and then just make sure that the notes / animations are over the big rock endings, and then make sure that there's only like one, and make sure that there are some like final notes to hit after the big rock endings, so then you will score the points. Because then if there are no final notes in there, like if you decide to do every single if you decide to really cover every single note basically on the big rock ending with only a big rock ending lane, it will not work. Like basically, so make sure that you at least leave in like at least one final note or just a few of them though, just to really make sure it's right though. I mean, like try to at least like try to at least like find out like where the where the final notes are. Like I do remember an example that is one of the notes from Bot itself, is that there are like three quick chords that they basically like have to hit like basically on the big rock ending of that song. So it means once it goes through the big rock ending lane, there's like three power chords. There's like three chords quick chords that you have to hit, but basically in order to like get the big rock ending. Because then if you mess it up, you will not get it. then the big rock ending, basically for Freebird, it basically has two chord notes that are like long note power chords as well, like boom, boom. You know, as an example though. So the thing is, I try to at least examine what the final notes are in the big rock ending yourself, basically just by figuring out like how the lanes are how long the big rock ending lanes basically should be, and like what final notes that there should be that should only be ahead of the lanes to in order to score those points. And like I said, big rock endings for vocals, you really don't need to. You don't absolutely have to chart it, basically. Don't. Since it's really like up to you. Since it's really like up to the vocalist to sing whatever they feel like on the big rock ending. So that's just like mostly the point though. But for drums, bass, or guitar, you do absolutely have to like, you definitely have to be like strumming or drumming on those big rock ending lanes, and then you have to like make sure that you're hitting the final notes there, or you will not like not get the bonus at all. Also, you don't even score any bonus points either from the big rock endings either on vocals as well. So what you could just do instead is you could just maybe activate overdrive on vocals on the big rock ending lanes though, even if you don't have any overdrive drive energy left, basically though. Like if you saw that before from some old Rock Band videos on like vocals that had a big rock ending, like I know that Timmy in the Lords of the Underworld from Rock Band 1 export that does have like a big rock ending, but basically though, and he does in the way that this guy Sneak Coot did it is when once he has absolutely gotten the highest rating that he can ever get, basically basically on all four phrases, like the awesome ratings, basically, then he did basically activate overdrive, but basically, during the big rock ending, which it doesn't really score you points, basically. But it is useful to do it in case that if you're playing with a full band, right? So if you need like any like more help, basically on like figuring out like how big rock endings are basically like supposed to be going though, like I said, you can absolutely get like you can get help from that from the Rock Band documentary website. And then once you're in that website, like I said, just go to that link basically in the description that is always found in every video that I upload, and then just type the keyword big rock ending, and enter it in, and then like once you have typed it in though, it should show up there, and then once you get into the end of that page, you should be able to see it, and be able to see the tips on how big rock ending is supposed to work, and it will give you a better example. Got it? All right. But anyways, enjoy the rest of this video. All right. So the moment has really finally come. We can now finally start packaging the song and make it playable in Rock Band. So what we're gonna go ahead and do here is we're gonna go ahead and re-export the MIDI which is to replace the previous one with the MIDI that we filled in all the difficulties in and all the drum animations in. So that's gonna be the MIDI that we're gonna be dragging right into Magma. And I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna go ahead and delete this video file because we no longer need it. Let me re-export the MIDI just in case that I've included it by accident. There we go. And the next thing you want to do is double click the track the track name basically also, and then it'll just select the entire track in case that if you do have extra countins. And so also that's basically another thing I forgot to show. So yeah, so I'll go to even rats and basically show this to you. Yeah, I'm gonna save. That was weird. Don't know why it was like that. Okay, anyway. One thing I forgot to mention. Just in case that if the audio basically just in case that if the audio basically does not really come with the count-in like the other one did, then luckily then you should be basically should just basically connect like the first beat basically of like the sound wave to be like connected right to like measure 3, and then make sure that it is like synced up to it. And then once you have basically done that, then what you're gonna at least just want to do is just locate where you have the count-in audio files, the hi-hat or the stick. So yeah, so hi-hats are basically pretty long, basically though. Of course, you can basically just make them long, basically though. So I'm gonna solo this track, so then you'll see what I'm talking about. Okay, so with that, all right, and then so the ways that sometimes the way that like count-ins are sometimes supposed to go is basically hang on, I need to like make sure to do this right. Okay, I actually remember now. Okay, so let's say you wanted to use a hi-hat basically. So the way that you want to set up the count-in is basically supposed to be is basically this. And if you're basically wondering about the end of those tracks, of those like extremely short count-in tracks, like don't worry, I'll basically like show you another thing to do. Once you have them all right in the right place, you want to turn snap off, and then make sure to shorten the notes a bit, shorten those a bit. So then whenever you basically play that count-in, is the volume up? Okay, yeah. So then whenever you basically have the hang on. Now whenever you basically have once you basically have the count-in basically like inserted right into Reaper though, in some way when you set up correctly, and then by the time when you play the song, I'm gonna turn snap back on. This is what it should sound like, and then your audio track should start at measure 3 on the first beat of either drums, bass, or guitar, or even vocals as well. So in order to make sure it fits, make sure to shorten it a bit more, so then it'll fit right. And then once you have it set up right to however you think it should be, then you might get this. So like right here, it's basically the hi-hat counting. Now if you basically drag in the stick audio basically, which means that if you just place that right into the MIDI though, into the track though, it'll go in there. So I'll basically show you that really quick. Hang on, here we go. So this is what the stick sounds like. So now if I drag in the other ones, So now if you have a stick counting, this is what it sounds like. Let me get zoom in a bit closer so you can hear it. So once you basically get that though, then that can be the count-in that you can set up while you basically have that audio track all set up. So anyways, once you basically have those into your audio track and like not in the different ones though, you can also do the same for the count-in as well if you want. Alright, so anyway, now that I've shown that as an example, basically, alright, so I'm gonna head back to the other project that we're using for this tutorial. I'm gonna click no on saving because we don't need it to be like that. Well, I don't need it to be like that. Alright. Now, once you have your audio file set correctly, make sure to don't double click the track and to select just like all of the track, and then you want to go to file and then click render, and then make sure that you basically set the source to be a master mix, basically. So that basically means it'll just only be like only background music, only for the backing track. I mean, it's recommended to always do this unless if there are stems basically available for you to download of the song, and so just in case that if you do want to use those instrument stems, which are basically which by the way, stems are basically the stuff. They are tracks of one instrument only for song. Like one track for guitar, one track for bass, one track for drums, one track for vocals, and one track for keys. And they are pretty hard to basically find, basically all over YouTube. And in the case if you're basically wondering what how Harmonix basically has made all those instruments basically sound like they're that it is like only like missing like on one instrument, for example, basically with when you're playing guitar or drums or bass, and if you like miss a note, which is basically though when it's a single track, then that's how they're doing it. They're putting in like one track back and forth. They basically go one by one, so then it would look like that it's a real song that you're basically playing at a concert. But whenever, but the only way that they were able to only get the master recordings is that they had to like pay the rights basically though from the other bands that had owned the songs. So that basically means that if you don't do it, so it means if you just decide to take it basically without permission, then you might be in trouble though. So the best choice that I would just recommend is basically just trying to like maybe ask someone on Discord to hand over to basically send you a link to download some stems completely from basically from a song or from like a song from a rhythm game, basically though. But in case that if it's not available, you'll have to like try to find that on YouTube yourself. But then but sometimes there might not be stems available, so in case that if there isn't any, then you're gonna have to use the backing track. Like that's basically it. Like that's really all you can use. And basically for some songs though. So if you're basically wondering in the comments though, don't really tell me about it, because it's just because they're only doing it to basically though, like other authors that are like charting customs are just only doing it basically though, just so then they don't get in trouble. Like mostly say no man, like that's just really how they're doing it. They're completely without getting into trouble and without having to really pay the rights of the other bands. Because then if they just took the band's like soundtracks without permission, they would call a lawsuit, which means, yeah, like I said, that would be trouble. Don't do that. Give me a minute. GH1. And make sure to set up the directory which would mean find the folder to place it in. So your converting folder is the one you want. And then make sure all of the other settings are correct. And once they are, just click render one file. But before you basically do this though, make sure that your volume's correct. For my sake, it is, but sometimes for you it might not be. So just in case that just in case that if any of the custom songs that I have you like download, and if you're playing them on basically on your TV, if they are too loud for you, then you can always just just turn the volume down a bit, basically of the audio in Reaper, and then make sure to like at least like re-render it basically though, and then make sure to rebuild the song in Magma, but this time with the volume track turned down a bit, so then it'll make it easier for you, and so then you don't have to basically keep your TV like turned down at all times. But just for my sake, this is really what I go with. I go for a little loud. All right, so basically, click this render file button, render one file, and you can see that it's now basically taking of like what sound waves there were in the track, and they all made it into a WAV file. Like that's basically that's basically something that you may need to render it as. Make sure the output format is WAV, basically, because that's the only audio format that Magma will accept. They will not accept like MP3 or anything else like that. It'll only allow just WAV, since like that's basically like all it'll allow. Now once you minimize out of that and go back to your Rock Band 2 converting folder, now you could basically see is that there it is the WAV file that we've made. Alright, so there's two more things we need to do before we can start building the song. So first of all, let's basically go ahead and delete this reduced MIDI because we no longer need it anymore. And we can go back to Reaper and close out of that as well. I'm just gonna permanently delete this from the recycle bin. All right. So now that you have your audio file and your MIDI, the next thing to do is open up Audacity. It's recommended to just have Audacity, so then you could basically convert this track to be made into three audio files that you may need to compile the song in Magma, which would be the backing, the silence, and the dry box, which is basically for vocal lip sync animations. Now what you're going to want to do is drag this in right into Audacity, and you can see here when you drag it right into Audacity, you should see your track. So feel free to basically play through that first in case if you want to though. Now, once you basically have dragged it in, go ahead and export this track as the backing, basically though. Again, make sure it's in the same folder that you're doing it in. So I'm going to type the word backing. And then just wait for it to like export it. Alright, and then after that, you want to go ahead and like, give me a minute. Some hair on the keyboard though. I gotta like pull off. Anyways, now hit Control A. Now hit Control A to select the entire track. Then go to generate. Click silence. And then leave the duration as it is, and just hit OK. And then now whenever you turn that audio file into a silence file, you hear nothing. Like listen, it's no longer playing anything. So when you do that, Actually, hang on. Oops, I messed it up. Wait, can I hit Control Y? Yeah, I can. Okay. Alright, so I'm gonna try that. Or actually, you know what? I'm just gonna click it. Alright, anyway. Now, once your audio file is like this, basically, once it has the silence generator on it, go ahead and export that one as well. But this time label that as silence. Silence. My bad. So basically, the audio net name. So basically, the file net name basically of the audio really doesn't matter. Basically, though. Like, I recommend doing this, basically, and then you'll be able to tell the difference. Be back in a minute. My god, man, like, there's so many interruptions going on for some reason, though. Wait, at least they're back upstairs now, so nothing to worry about right now. Alright, anyway, after that if you have exported that backing track for the 3 audio files you need, we can go ahead and close out of that. It's no longer needed. Let me minimize that for a minute. Let's see for a minute. Anyways, the next thing that we are going to basically need is we only need one more file. So the last thing that we are going to want is the album photo, basically. So we will go ahead and search that right on the internet. If it would just try to like load up for some reason, though, I don't know why it's just taking so long to do this. I mean, I'm just really wondering if it's going to even go on the internet at all. Okay, well, this might take a while, so give me a minute. Oh, wait, hang on. I'm just gonna put this on full screen though. Well, I meant to say, I'll just maximize it then. So we're gonna basically like what want to do is like make sure that you search the album photo by typing in the right keyword for it. So the one that the album photo that we're gonna want is basically probably the one from genius.com. basically. It's basically this one that we're gonna use for the song. So I'm gonna go and click that. If it would load up. Okay, there we go. You can sometimes find album photos sometimes on Wikipedia, or you can basically find them in the images, but basically on the Internet Explorer. So you can basically see here is that these are basically examples of like some of them you can use. So just for now, this is basically the one we're going to use to make I keep messing up, making the album photo with. And since this is going to be the GH1 cover of this song, though, we will edit this photo a little bit and then put the Guitar Hero logo on this, though. So then you'll be able to tell that it's the correct one. So we're gonna go ahead and do is save picture as. Give it a minute. And it's recommended to just save your album photos into an album songs photos folder. Like make sure that you basically like Actually, hang on. I know. Well, just to be sure to save me basically some stress. I'm gonna go copy this. I mean, you can still use Control C as well to copy it if you can. Okay, so paste that. Oops, that's not it. Can't undo it though. Okay, so just give me a minute. Okay, so let's just try this again. Get ready to rock. Freeze pop. Okay, so there you go. Get ready to rock, freeze pop, GH1 album photo. So it's basically, it's really like up to you on like how you basically like wanna like rename the photo basically. Now you could basically see on these. I did turn a few of these album photos by putting in the Guitar Hero 1 logo basically onto the album photos, so then they would be able to tell it's a Guitar Hero 1 cover of the song. So we're gonna go and save. Now, if we go back to album song photos, if it would show up, hang on. Okay, so it said access is denied, basically though. So I'll have to like try that again. Okay, so I gotta save this as a JPG though, because that's really the only way it's gonna do it. Hang on. Album song for, hang on. So make sure to select this JPG, and then let's make sure to do this right. Get ready to rock album. Oops, I messed it up. Okay, so there we go. Oops, hang on. Get ready to rock, freeze pop. GH1 album photo. So that's what it's basically supposed to be. Okay, hang on. Let me sit up a bit more. Still trying to set this up. Sorry. Alright, anyway. Alright, make sure to save again, and there is our album photo that we saved. Now the next thing I'm basically going to do, I'm just gonna get out of that for a minute. Now this is basically an optional thing to do, basically though, but just in case that if you're making a Guitar Hero cover basically of a song though, then it's mostly recommended to do this. So what I am gonna do is, this is the Pixlr editor. So this is basically Pixlr, the photo editor site. So here's the link to it, pixlr.com/e/. So yeah, make sure to basically go to this link to edit any album photos basically though. I'll probably put a link of that down in the description to that website. Anyway, now go to create new, and I'm gonna go ahead and select full HD, and I'm gonna set the width to be hang on, I messed it up. So So I'm going to set the width and height to be 300, since I basically saw that the actual album size is basically like 300 by 300. Let me close that really quick. Oops, that's not it. I need to rename it and then copy it. Copy and then paste that in, and there you go. We basically now have that. Also, enabling the background is basically optional as well, so I'm going to go with a white background, because why not. Click create, and now you can basically see is that this is basically the photo editor that you can basically use. There's a lot of the tools here, basically, and there is basically a help there is basically a, and the help tab is basically like right there in case you need to know how it works. So the zoom tool is basically going to let you like zoom in and out. So yeah, you could basically zoom out, or you could basically zoom in. So, and there's your layers, basically. So layer 1, first of all, is basically going to be the album photo. So what we're going to be doing here is I'm going to go to new layer, or actually this is actually the layer, kind of. And then now for layer, click add image as layer, and the layer that you want to select, well, the image that you might want to select is the album photo that you saved, which is this one. So click that. Hang on, let me zoom out again. Okay. You can basically like move the album photo around in case you want to, though. But as for now, we'll just do this then. And then after you have put in the album photo, basically, though, I'm gonna go ahead and like delete this layer. And then I'm gonna add another image as a layer, and this time I'm gonna be putting in the Guitar Hero logo image that I have downloaded like months ago. Basically, I mean, you can also search for that basically on Bing as well. So whether if you're doing Guitar Hero 1, if you need a Guitar Hero 1 logo to download, or Guitar Hero 2 logo, Guitar Hero 3, Guitar Hero Metallica, or any other type of cover that you might want to use, basically, it's up to you. So this is the Guitar Hero 1 logo that I basically use. I wish it wasn't so big, basically, though. Anyways, in case that if it is big, then that's basically like no problem. You can always just shrink it to make sure it's right. Give me a minute. I'm gonna center it to the bottom left. Okay, there we go. All right, and all right. So now after so that is basically the album photo made. So now you want to go ahead and click save. Make sure it's the same file name, and I recommend setting this to PNG, and then click download, and then you could see basically on the bottom left, it should download the picture like right away once you save it. Sorry about that, guys. Completely though. The camera actually crashed. Basically already though. I don't know what happened there though for some reason though. All right. Anyways. Anyway, after you have basically downloaded the album photo, next thing that you're gonna want to do is just go into the folder that basically go into the downloads folder. That's actually the wrong button. It should show up. Well, the album photo that you basically made should show up right here. It should show up in the downloads folders. So in case, so once it does, basically though, gosh, then go ahead and just drag this right into the album song photos. And now I can delete the other one basically though, because I don't need that anymore. So delete this. Okay, so alright, anyway, after you have basically saved it, we're now ready to absolutely like open up Magma and start building the song. So I'm gonna go ahead and close that now, and delete this photo because we already have that saved in our folder now. So we really don't need to do it anymore. Alright, so anyway, now that we have all the files that we need, let's finally open up Magma and start building the song. Now, once you have all the files necessary, you now basically want to go ahead and click the Magma bumper and click Magma C3 basically. It's recommended to just pin that basically to your taskbar, since then you don't have to open it every time to basically go from like the folder. Now you can basically see this is basically what the program looks like. Magma C3 Rocks Edition verse V3. So anyways, the Magma program is basically a program that is basically used to convert many files that you've made basically for a custom song into an actual song into a custom song that you can basically play in Rock Band. So this is basically a song packaging program. So you can basically see here in the information, you got your title, which is where you enter the song name. This tab is for the artist name, and you enter then the album name goes in here. Your track number is here. Make sure that this is where you can set it, and you could set the original release date or the re-release date here. You can select the song's genre or the subgenre. These are like different languages. These are like different languages that you can use. And then enter your name or the online alias here, basically. So yeah, so basically you can enter your real name, or you can just end up using your username, and using up your basically putting in your username for the author or author's name basically though is basically like recommended basically though if you're planning to play custom songs, since using a username is like much more safer than just using your originally. But if you don't have but if you have not came up with a username yet basically, then that's basically okay. I mean, you can still just put your like your original name, or you can still put your whole name in there. I mean, it's up to you. And all these basically are basically just checkboxes of other features that the song has on what you think. Karaoke, multi-track, a ×2 bass pedal, which it means the double bass pedal. Check here if this is a conversion from another game, which it is from Guitar Hero. So that's the one we will check we'll check off in a minute. Rhythm on keys, rhythm on bass, CAD EMH, which is which has basically the easy, medium, hard generated by the cat tools, which is made by Ferrotone. You can find that on the C3 website, but although I wouldn't really recommend like downloading it that much unless you're only using the C3 RB3 template. Expert only, like I said, do not do expert only, like basically though, because I do but believe that this is basically like not a like good track. This is really like not a recommended option to go with. And then this one is the encrypt feature. So click here to enable or disable the encryption of the song audio. That's basically like that's basically what you can do with that. So basically, anyways, now that I basically explained the information now, let's go ahead and just put in the album photo that we've made. So I'm going to go ahead and, well, there's two ways that you can put an album photo in. One way you can do that is you can basically drag in the album photo right into the program, and it should basically show, and it should just automatically put it in. So if you wait for a moment, it's basically loading. Good, there we go. So now you can basically see when you drag this in, like it says here, oh my gosh, this is the album art you see in game. You can so you can so you can either drag it in, which should basically summon two photos, basically in here, the PNG Xbox file, and the 256 by 256 album photo. Just because that's basically the way that it does it, the way it changes it. And then, anyway, another way that you can basically drag it in is you can basically just click this browse button, and you can just like scroll down and just find the file that you could select. So just double click that, and then, or you could just click it and then just click open, and then it'll put it right in. Okay, alright, so anyways, let's go ahead and do this now. So we're going to go ahead, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and, God, that hurts. I'm going to go ahead and put in the song title first. So this is Get Ready to Rock, Guitar Hero version. Hang on. Okay, there we go. Guitar Hero version. Since I put in Guitar Hero version and all slashes, and I'm adding that in basically just because this is because it is basically, oops, I didn't, that's not what I wanted. So enter in that song name, and then and I'm gonna put Freeze Pop as the artist name. And since this song is basically a cover though, let's basically I really can't talk. What I'm basically gonna do here basically is let's check the master, the master option, which will turn it into a cover. Uncheck if the song is a cover, and leave it or otherwise leave it checked if it's an original song, which is a studio recording. So you can see here when I unchecked it, it's a cover. Let me do this. Song marked is master, song marked is cover. And the album photo name is Freeze Pop Forever. So I'm gonna copy that artist name, put that in there, and then I'm gonna enter in the rest of it. Freeze Pop Forever is the album name. Now for the track number, you might want to like look that up on genius.com. I just wish that like Google Chrome would just stop doing this every time. It's getting annoying. Okay, so give me a minute. I need to like track this. There we go. So Get Ready to Rock is number 4 on the list. So since this is number 4, I'm gonna basically like click these arrows and set this to track number 4. And this has been, and this is, and according to the date, including like, hang on, I need to scroll up for a moment so I can see it. Okay, well I guess not. Okay, anyways, so the original release date was 2000, year 2000. And I do know that the genre is gotta be pop rock for sure. So pop rock and just pop, basically though. So, but if you're working basically on like a different song, and if you do like need to basically like look up the genre basically though, then the best thing that you can basically just do to just like look it up basically though is you can just type in the song name, the artist name, and then make sure to put the word genre, so then it'll label it to you. Well, it says it's electronic music, but I'm pretty sure it's pop. I mean, I might be wrong, but I'll have to find out. Okay, I'm gonna do that, and then make sure to change album photo to genre. It's still taking its time. Just give me a minute. There we go. Okay. All right. So genre. This is dance pop rock. So. Well, I'm pretty sure pop rock is basically like close enough, and pop is close enough. And I'm gonna put in my own name, my own username, CodyL15. Anyway, and I'm gonna go ahead and check this off, since this is a conversion from Guitar Hero 1. So that's basically it for the information. Now the game data basically shows more options. This is where you drag the MIDI. You could set your on generation theme here for your venue. Set the animation speed, which is basically like what type of animation is depending on the BPM. It could be slow, medium, or fast, like basically though. This is where the HOPO threshold is set, but I don't know how that works. You could set your vocal gender here, your vocal percussion here, and your vocal scroll speed here. But the thing is, I would basically, this is basically recommended for slow or fast songs. It's it's up to you. But I just recommend leaving this as normal speed, normal scroll speed. Vocal guide pitch, tuning sense, vocal tonic note, mute the volume vocals, mute volume. You could set your song rating here, and your drum fit SFX. And then this is where the solos are sometimes checked. And then your Pro Guitar and Pro Bass are set up, and on to the right is your difficulties, basically. Like these are basically the tiers, basically a rock band that you could basically go with. So yeah, this is basically warm up. Sorry about that. This is warm up. This is apprentice. Well, 1 dots is apprentice. 2 dots is solid. 3 dots is moderate. 4 dots is challenging. 5 dots is nightmare, and 5 devil faces, or 5 red dots if you're playing like a rock band, is impossible. So that means, yeah, impossible is the highest tier in the game, and the lowest tier is warm up, 0 dots. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to basically go ahead and go to the rock band to converting, and then drag in the MIDI that we've created, which is this one. Drag this in. And now you can basically see, as it said there, when I drag the MIDI in, it checked off guitar immediately because it has because it has a guitar solo, since it detected the solo marker that we put in on guitar. And then so we're gonna set the auto generation auto generation theme to feel good pop rock, since that's basically like the genre, kind of. It's pop rock. In the animation speed, I know it's like pretty fast basically, but I think I might leave it to medium though, just in case. And the vocal gender is female for sure. It's absolutely female. It's not male basically, because if you heard, right, because if you have heard the vocalist basically in the song that we were using basically for this tutorial, that's basically like the vocal gender of the song. It's absolutely a female. So it means whenever the vocal gender is set to male, basically it'll when you're playing Rock Band 2 or Rock Band 3 or Rock Band 1, basically, I mean, although it won't show up in Rock Band 1. Anyway, if the vocal gender is set to male basically though, then that will then what it will basically do is it will basically show. Then it'll have vocalists playing the song, but making sure that it's only sticking to males. For females, same thing, except that it's only sticking to female vocalists for the song. So like I said, this is a female vocalist song, so we'll leave it to that. The vocal percussion, either tambourine, cowbell, or hand clap. So we'll probably do tambourine basically though, because yeah. Because I do feel like this song has a percussion solo. And then the song rating is, I think this is probably either supervision recommended or family friendly. I think this is probably supervision recommended though. I mean, I could just basically like look it up from a video, but I don't feel like it. Alright, so after I said all that information, the last thing to do for the game data is to fill in the difficulties. Now, if you doing the song that doesn't really exist in Rock Band, then you're gonna have to try to really examine how the instruments we basically go, and you will have to tell if they are that easy or that hard basically though. So if it's like if it's really easy though, then try putting it on the lower tier, basically onto like from kind of like probably either warm up, apprentice, or warm up, apprentice, or moderate. And if you're basically doing like a normal diff, and if the notes look like it's a normal tier, then set that to be challenging. Actually, I was actually wrong about moderate from before. I would say moderate and challenging are the normal tiers. To set the tier to, just in case if the notes look like that. And then for like the harder ones, basically though, the ones that are just a little hard is basically just, well, it's basically, so yeah, so the tier that is like a tiny bit hard is challenging, and then one tier that is just hard, like just hard is nightmare, and then one tier is basically like the really hard, then it would be impossible. So it's the impossible tier though. So make sure to really examine those charts and try to examine if it's easier, if it looks like they're easy notes or like hard notes to hit. The way you can tell that they are easy or fast is slow notes are the easy notes, and then fast ones are the are actually the harder ones to hit. So that's how you can basically tell it's like much harder though, once you like figure it out. But anyways, since I'm basically doing this song, get ready to rock though. I will be basically go onto the C3 website and basically like go ahead and just like search up that song basically. again, sorry about basically about the internet. Like, it's just really like going bad right now. So I'm gonna enable a new tab, and then I'm going to open up the this website, which is it's the website I basically showed you. And in order to go to the customs page, you basically go onto that website, and then you select customs from there. And you could basically see, this is this is basically what all the custom songs that other people have made before and have uploaded onto this website. You can basically download like lots of them, basically. Like, believe me, there's so many options. There's like 22,122 custom songs that are released on this website urgently, and they will keep coming, and more of them will get uploaded as they go on. But anyways, the one that we're really searching for at the moment is "Get Ready to Rock" by Freeze Pop. So good thing I had that pop up, since I don't have to like type in the whole thing. Now, once you've typed in the keyword, hit enter to search, and there's the song. So I'm going to go ahead and select that. And the reason why I'm going into here, because as you can basically see on the right, it does like show the difficulties basically, so we can just take it from there. Hold on. Oops, So sorry again. Sorry, I mean, again, like, I really am just, like, messing up. Basically on the TV for some reason, though. Alright, anyways. So the tiers shown on here, the guitar is on impossible, so that's red dots. The drums is on 4 dots. The bass is also, actually, not yet. Drums is 4, vocals is 1 dot, which is apprentice, and bass is 4. Now the band difficulty basically says it's impossible as well, but I don't think that's right, to be honest with you. So I'm gonna say the band difficulty is 4. So since I think that's basically the average of 1, 6, 4, 4, basically. So yeah, make sure to like absolutely calculate that. So yeah, make sure to basically calculate those results and see what you get. So that's basically it for the game data. So the last thing that we're gonna do is we're going to set the audio track. So the audio section is where the audio tracks live, and this is where they get dragged, right, where they go in. So you got your drum mix, kit and snare, kit and kick, kick and snare, and then you have audio files for those. Like if you decide to do kit, kick, and snare, you'll have those 2 available. But for now, we'll just do kit for now. And then you have your bass track to put in, guitar, vocals, and then there's your dry box, basically though. And if you want to be basically drag both of these in, then you can. Well, if you want to drag in like harmony vocals into here, and make sure to enable keys, basically though, just in case that if you basically like want to like put keys in there. And then the backing is basically like where you put in. It's basically the backing is where you put the original audio track in, or the backing of the cover of it you put in. And then the crowd is basically the audio track that you basically use. This is the location of the crowd audio track, basically, which I don't know what that does, basically, to be honest with you, but you might know. Alright, but anyway, so anyways, what we are gonna like want to do for now is we should just go ahead and just like put in the photo, actually not the photo, Now, so we're gonna go ahead and drag in the silence files into kit, bass, guitar, and vocals, since that. Oh, oops, I messed it up. Since that we did like absolutely only use like one track basically, so we don't have multi-stems. So that's why it's recommended that to have the drum, bass, guitar, and vocals audio to be on silence all the time. And then for the dry vocals slot right here, put the dry vox in there, and then for the backing, put it in the backing area. And then the last thing to do is to set the song per preview to where the preview starts. So that means what the song preview does is when you hover over a song in Rock Band basically, then what it'll basically do is it'll basically but play a 30-second preview of the song, and it's mostly recommended to like set that song preview to the most recognizable part of a song, so then it would be able to like make you tell that if you want to play or not, and it's the same for everybody else as well. Anyway, I'm gonna basically like look up the audio. I'm gonna look up the audio preview of the song. So yeah, I'll see you in a bit. All right. So after like looking up the audio preview, I found out that the song preview is 59 seconds. So what you want to do is once you set your audio preview, go ahead and click the play buttons so you can hear it at that point. Sorry for the lag. So that's basically it for the info. So last thing to do now in Magma, well, kind of last thing, is to go ahead and save it. So I will go ahead and just like save this basically though as the file. Get ready to rock freeze pop GH1. Alright, so hit save and make sure the file name is at least 26 characters or lower basically though, because if you put one in that's too long, it won't work though. Okay. Now before you start building the song, it's mostly highly recommended test the MIDI first, just to see if there are any errors in the MIDI before you start building it. If there are any errors, then you can basically just go back to Reaper and fix them. See, you can basically find like some of the errors basically. You can find like some of the solutions basically to the errors that are Googled around the internet. So yeah, you can basically just do that. Anyways, let's see if there are any errors here. Okay. So it looks like there are a few errors on guitars. So I'm gonna go ahead and just copy those really quick. And then now in case that if you do get any errors, it's recommended to basically it's recommended to create an error text document, so then you'll be able to like know where the errors are. So you can basically see here is that whenever when it says error MIDI compiler, then it'll basically tell you like what's wrong with it. For now, it says it basically says. So I'm pretty sure that it's basically some like it's probably some like issues basically with the overdrive phrase in somewhere in the 90s basically though, from like the start of the solo. So let's check that out. Alright, so let's go back to Reaper. go back to guitar. And it basically so it basically says difficulty easy, medium, hard, and expert. So it says no gems between overdrive phrases from 91 and 92 and 92 and 93. So and it also says overdrive phrase at 120 has no jams on easy. So we'll go and check both of those measures out. So for now, let's just go ahead and just check 90 for now. 91. I mean, sometimes if it does like have some errors basically like that, then that's basically easy to fix. You can basically just make that overdrive phrase just join together basically, so then it'll make it easier for you. So we'll just do that basically just to correct everything. And it also says there's also the same error at 120 basically. So what you want to do is after you have solved an error basically, oops, not that. After you have solved an error, you want to go ahead and just remove the previous errors you fixed, and then just like focus on the ones that you have not fixed yet. So it says overdrive phrase at 120 has no gems on easy difficulty. Okay, let's go to 120. So so you can basically see here, this is basically the overdrive phrase that we basically did, and it said that there is no there's no note here. So if you really do not basically have a note in there, then it's recommended to just put one in completely down, so then it'll like basically like count it. Right, and then once you have fixed all those errors, go ahead and re-export the MIDI, and then reinsert it into Magma. So then this time, it'll test the MIDI again to see if there's any more errors that you might need to fix up. So reinsert it, test again, and let's see. All right, no errors, so we're good. So if it does say the MIDI is in excellent condition, no errors reported by the MIDI compiler, then you should be just fine to build your song. So I'm going to go ahead and save again, and now push build song. So now with that, you are now basically finished with kind of packaging the song. There's only one more thing that you probably may need to do completely before you like start playing the song right away in Rock Band 2. So basically for any of these commands, but basically what it's basically doing now, and like what it's doing is it's building your song. Now the warning basically says there are no practice sections found in the events track. So just in case, so if you basically see that, ignore it, because you really are like not gonna get that. You're not gonna basically like get that warning. A warning if you're basically using the Rock Band network. No. If you're basically using the C3 RB3 template, and then when you're using the C3 RB3 template, then it should still at least allow you to put in the Rock Band, to put in the practice sections for in the events track basically. So yeah, if you watched it, like if you really watch the events track tutorial part, which is part 9, you should be able to like know how to do it. And then once you basically put it in though, and into the track, no, the section names that are allowed from Rock Band, then it should absolutely like allow you to really like absolutely go for it. to just straight up just put the section names inside of the song already, and you absolutely should and at least be able to build your song just fine without any issues. All right. Anyways, all you be all right. So anyways, so while that's basically going through the like basically no. So anyways, all you gotta basically just do now is just wait for like the song file to build, and then then we'll move on to the next step.